Hello, and welcome to the trailer episode of my new podcast, The Great Unlearn. My name is Jon Callahan, or Cal, as some of you may know me. Today, I just want to let you know what to expect for this upcoming podcast that I'm launching. I'm going to share some of my experiences. We're going to share some of the experiences of my guests, and we're really going to look at it through the lens of unlearning or undoing. It's really an opportunity for each of us to step into this new space of the unknown, right? To really look at this through the lens of curiosity, wonder, being open to what unfolds before us, rather than have this preconceived idea of what it's supposed to look like. It's to let go of these roles that we have, these ideas of who we're supposed to be, and to look at the world with new eyes. I had a few other titles that I was working on. One was in fact working in, and you'll hear that referred to in a number of the first episodes that I'm launching. I really like the idea of working in. It's a perfect complement to working out, right? Working out, we're expending a lot of energy. It's physical, it's doing. Working in is about those practices that make us more whole, that actually increase our battery and allow us to expend that energy. And so for me, it was really about tapping into those practices in a way that I think a lot of us are maybe not used to. The other one that I was playing around with was open the kimono. And for me, that's really about having an honest and authentic and a vulnerable conversation free of judgment, of self, of others. And I think both of those titles really play into this idea of the great unlearn. And so while I don't think they necessarily captured everything, I am happy with where we landed on the great unlearn. But ultimately, throughout the podcast, I'm going to share some of my philosophy, some of the things that I've learned, right? Maximization versus optimization, the comparison paradigm, truth. What is your truth versus what do we take to be true? And to understand that we all have our own truths that are based on our own personal experiences. And my experience is going to be different than yours. And really, if we can honor that we each have our own truths, maybe we can come to the table a little more empathetic and a little more understanding and a little more connected to each other. There's also this idea of these agreements that, as my friend Parangi likes to say, we've swallowed these agreements throughout our life about what we're supposed to be and how we're supposed to act. And really, it's about identifying those agreements that aren't part of your truth and unlocking them and how to do that. And so we'll spend a lot of time talking about those things as well. And really, as important as anything is this idea of tribe, something that has been really a big part of my life. And for a handful of years, I really stepped away from my tribe, not intentionally, but I really found myself kind of as a lone wolf and understood that I really needed and really craved the essence of the tribe. And so there's going to be a lot of conversation about the importance of having that brotherhood, that sisterhood, that group that supports you and that you really can show up for. I'm going to talk about some of my experiences. I was in South Africa at the Track Your Life retreat with a guy named Boyd Vardy, and it was really an amazing experience for me. I learned really about life through the eyes of a tracker, and it's something that I've really taken on for my life as well. And really not knowing, I think I may mess this up, but what Boyd likes to say is, I don't know where I'm going, but I know how to get there. And I think if you really can approach life with that knowing, that inner knowing, without actually seeing everything laid out in front of you. Maybe you see one track, right? And you find that track, and then you go to the next track. But really, it's about having the trust with your intuition and your inner knowing to be able to kind of go forward in life with eyes wide open and really excited. We're going to talk about these working in practices that have been important to me and to the guests that I'll have on. Right? There's some people like to call them biohacking. It's all these practices that, like I said before, really make you more whole. They're more a sense of being rather than doing, and will really, delve deep into what the difference is between those things. I like to approach this whole journey of mine as a student and a teacher. And so while I'm here with this podcast, kind of teaching or coaching, it's very much a learning experience for me. And you'll notice the guests that I have on, I've either learned something from them or learned a lot from them. But I really try to approach everything from the point of view that I have something to learn from everyone, and I have something to share with everyone. And I think if we all take that approach, we may find that there's a lot out there that we don't know that we've been closed off to. So anyway, that's just a brief summary of what to expect with this podcast. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at BunkerCal, at BunkerCal. You can find me on Facebook, Jon Callahan, and a soon-to-be launched website, The Great Unlearn. So thanks for joining me today, and I look forward to hearing from you all as we go forward. Thanks.